And the thing about the Persephone myth is that, well, first of all, for those who don't know the story, very briefly, Persephone wanders away from her mother and she goes and picks a flower. And as she does so, the ground opens up and Hades abducts her into the underworld. She then spends quite a considerable time in the underworld. Long story short, she is finally returned when Zeus is pissed off because all the people of the land are in famine. Why? Because Demeter is caught up in her trauma that she's lost her daughter. But to your point about intuition, also the fact that Persephone was down in the underworld for so long and became the queen of the underworld. It was thinking, well, what was that about? You know, it's all symbolical. It's not to be taken literally, but it was looking at her eventual comfort in the underworld. Comfort's probably not the right word there actually, but the fact that she becomes enthroned in the underworld, she makes that her realm, yet she also can move between the realms. She's one of the few gods or goddesses that can actually travel between the realms with ease. There's a quote that I love and that I work with often, which is from Walter Lippmann, that says, "What you see depends on where you stand and the habits of your eyes." And the thing about Persephone going to the underworld is, of course, as we understand the underworld, it's dark, it's gloomy, it's treacherous. Actually, considering the underworld as less of a place and more of a state of mind is quite a good way to approach the myth. Because what Persephone seems to do when she's down there, because she very much tends to the souls of the dead, that becomes her, almost like her mission. And Jung talks about this in his essay. It's the restoration of her dead. It's going back, it's hearing the cries of the souls. She becomes a psychopomp. She starts to guide the souls. But in order to not just function in the underworld, in order to thrive like she does and become queen of the realm, she has to develop a different way of seeing. Jung, in a different essay, talks about Hildegard von Bingen, the Christian mystics. She talks about cultivating sight, not from your outward eyes, but from the inward eyes of the soul. And that, I think, is what essentially is happening with Persephone in the underworld.